Hi guys, it's Foodie Friday. Turn this into this terrific salad. So I'm opening a can of chickpeas, and it's about 19 ounces. And I'm actually going to use two of these because I'm making a double recipe. You see I've drained the artichoke hearts and I've started quartering them. But when you buy chickpeas, they come kind of gooky, and nobody likes to taste that. So I'm going to drain them, and we'll use them that way. Okay. Get them good and clean. So this is what an artichoke heart looks like. An artichoke is actually kind of a big flower, and this is the middle of it, but it tends to have these big, large leaves on it, which people, Italians anyway, they like to bake with it. So what they do is they make a mixture of breadcrumbs, garlic, and lemon, and they bake it, and they pull off the leaves and suck off the flesh with the breadcrumbs. Not my favorite thing to do. I like the artichoke hearts. You can cook with these. They do go real well with a baked chicken with some lemon and wine. But right now, what I want to do is just make these into quarters. You can buy these in water, in a can or a jar, or you can buy them already marinated. If you buy them already marinated, I recommend you wash off the marinade, just so you can get your own flavor that you want to get. And if you look, I'm in various stages here, excuse me, trying to make some quartered artichokes. So this is what it looks like when you half it. And look for the stem part because you want it to stay in one piece. So I'm going to start at the stem. And this is a really sharp knife. Just press down and pull out. You see how nicely that broke apart? So the next step is, you can actually use them this way. This is kind of a matter of taste for this salad. I like to do the same thing. Start at the stem, press down, and there you go. I've got some nice quartered artichoke hearts, and we'll just continue to do that and place them in this bowl. The next thing I'm going to add is Kalamata olives. You can buy them with the pits or without the pits, but the easiest way to get the pit out is really just to press down on it with a knife in the palm of your hand, and you'll see that the pit comes out real easy. There it is. And we're going to do the same thing with the olives. We're going to quarter them, open it up where the pit was, make a nice quarter. So you don't want to bite into big pieces of olive. This is going to be something you're going to have a little bit of artichoke, you're going to have some chickpeas, you're going to have some olives. I mean, if you want to make them smaller, you can cut them in half as well. It's sort of up to you. I usually leave them around quartered sizes. So here we've got 2 cans of drained chickpeas. I want to start on the dressing. A lot of people have asked me, how do I make my lemon dressing? And it's made with a couple of key ingredients. I use some mustard, and I would definitely use Dijon for this, so invest in a nice Dijon. I usually use a clove or 2 of fresh garlic. And I usually use a lemon or 2, which my strainer, the glass for my strainer broke, so I kind of made this little contraption so that I could have some nice lemon juice. And that's about the juice of 2 lemons. I have some fresh parsley, which I'm going to chop up, and I like a wide mouth, these bowl containers I use for canning. It's easy to put the ingredients in, give it a good shake, and you could store this for about a week in the refrigerator. Also, try to get a good olive oil. I always use extra virgin olive oil, first cold press. It tends to have a really nice flavor. It's got a nice bright green color. So let's put the dressing together. Like you did with the olives, when you have a fresh clove of garlic that you've separated from the head, you want to press on it, palm of your hand, and then you see how this comes off pretty easily. You don't want the skin, nobody eats the skin. So you want to peel that off. And get a little resistance. You can always press it down some more because we're going to chop it into this fine consistency here. Okay. And I keep a bowl nearby for garbage and things like that. I also cut off this little part of the garlic. It's like part of the stem. And that will facilitate getting the last piece of the peel off. So again, I'm going to press down on this, really give it a good whack with your hand, and this will make it easier for you to mince it as fine as possible. So, I mean, you may want to have big, gunky pieces of garlic in your salad dressing. I don't think most people like it that way. So I spend the time and I make it really fine and add that to the dressing. And the best way is to just rock the knife back and forth while holding down the pointy end with this hand and just rocking back and forth, getting those little pieces, bringing it together. And you see how fine that's coming? That's the consistency you're looking for. And maybe a little more. Again, I want big pieces here. Clean off the knife, get some of those big pieces down to size. Okay, so I'm going to put that into the jar. Again, this is why we want a wide mouth jar, because we want to get the garlic in there. The next thing I like to chop up is the parsley. When I buy parsley, remember parsley is a living plant? Oops. So I heard from the peanut gallery that we dropped some garlic. The counter's clean, but I'm not going to add that because I think that's a lot of garlic. So I think that's enough. So getting back to the parsley, remember it's a living thing. When you bring it home, like flowers, you can put a fresh cut on them and place them in water and keep that in your refrigerator, and they'll stay a lot longer. So I just like to take a big bunch of that. You know, maybe a fistful. And don't worry about these stems. We're going to cut off the stems and just, you want the leaf part. This is a flat leaf parsley. And we're going to do the same thing with this as we did with the garlic, but not as fine a chop. So you can just pull off the leaves like this. And you know, maybe you want to save a couple of them. They kind of make a nice topping on top of for a presentation. Totally up to you. That looks really pretty on top of the finished product. You see the green against the chickpeas. Very pretty. Okay. So put it into a bowl and then just do the same thing with the knife. You want to go back and forth, chop it up. You can smell the green when you're doing this. I wish you could smell this. It's really what adds to the freshness of this dressing, using fresh ingredients. And if you want, as the summer months approach, you can have an herb garden, and you can either keep it in your kitchen or right outside the door. And I, run outside lots of times during the summer and pick fresh herbs to do things like this. So again, keep it in a little bowl and come back and chop it up. Okay, I think that's maybe a little more. Okay, so you don't want really large pieces. You can come back and add more if you want. And again, we have this nice wide mouth that we can just place the herbs in there. And you can use cilantro if you prefer, or you can mix cilantro and parsley. It's all about what you like. At this point, if you want to add some black pepper, you can grind some black pepper and add that. And I don't like to add a lot of pepper or salt to my salad dressing. I just never like that flavor. But I'm just cracking some pepper in here just to bring out the flavor of everything. And I'm going to add the lemon juice. And the olive oil. Generally, I use twice the amount of olive oil to lemon juice, so I'm figuring I want to come up to about here. And I'll use my finger as a marker. So you may want to use more than that. It's up to you once you start shaking it. I think I'm going to go about halfway up in the bottle. Okay, you see how nice and green that is? Whoops. And just give it a good shake. Make sure that's nice and tight. You don't want oil all over the place. Look how that changes color. So you're trying to get an emulsion going here, so spend some time and really get some good shear on that. It'll make a nice emulsion. It'll stick to the chickpeas and the artichoke hearts. Look at that dressing. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, you may want to just kind of give it a taste and see, maybe you want a little less olive oil taste. I think it's pretty good the way it is, but if you like a little more lemon, you can always add more lemon. And we're going to put this aside to add it at the end. So, forgot to add the mustard, so I'm just going to add that to the dressing. And again, this is a matter of taste. Maybe you want to use about half of that. It's totally up to you. You don't want to overpower people with the smell and the flavor. You really want to taste the lemon in the olive oil, and so I'm just going to close that up and give it another good shake. All right, perfect. And I'll just let this go. Look at that. I love that. That's so beautiful. All right, so I've added the Kalamata olives that I've halved and quartered, or just, made them into smaller pieces. I've had 2 9-ounce cans of chickpeas that I've drained. And then these are the quartered artichoke hearts. I have 2 cans of those. Again, these were rinsed and drained. And let's add the salad dressing. Okay, let's start with that much. Let me get a large spoon. And give this a nice toss. I'm bringing up all the olives from the bottom of the pan. You see there's a good amount of dressing in there. Look how pretty that is. Give them a good stir so you incorporate everything. And there's nice bits of parsley in there. And you can always add more dressing. If you think you need more dressing in this, by all means, do it. So the next thing I do with this is I cover it and I just let it stand and soak up all the flavors of the lemon and the olive oil. And you could put it in the refrigerator for a couple of days, it'll stay. You can eat this as it is or serve it on top of a bed of lettuce. Maybe add some more of this wonderful dressing to it. But this is a very versatile dressing that you can use with many things. So that's our artichoke hearts chickpea salad. This is Jackie Bardini signing off.